All right, we're gonna
Blossom, Texas.
Blossom, Texas.
Learning something new every day.
Yay. Evening, folks. Are we
Afternoon.
live yet?
You're live.
Scott was just checking out the map. I had a thought here. I saw something. You know, if you ever had a wife that wanted to go see exotic places, London, Paris, all you got to do is bring her down here. London's just 40 miles south, and Paris is 120 north.
Yep. Actually, I'll bring you I found it online. There's a place you can do a tour of 7 and 8 cities around Texas, all European cities. Madrid.
Madrid? We got a Madrid.
I've been here 30 years, and every day I hear of a new town in Texas I never heard of. I never knew it was a Blossom, Texas.
I didn't either. That's a new one for me, too.
I mean, I've been here. You've been here longer than I have, gee.
Yeah.
Anyway, you know, big state.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know that if you leave, there's a place called Texlick, Texas, the top of the Panhandle.
Well, what is it?
Texlick, Texas.
Texlick?
Texlit. It's like where the border is, right there in Oklahoma. The top of the Panhandle, right? And going to what's that damn town? God dang it! I'll tell you later.
You going to the Panhandle?
Panhandle. You go to the Panhandle.
The top
Right corner of the Panhandle.
Top right hand corner?
Yep.
To Oklahoma?
No, it's right now Texas, and you go all the way down to the bottom of Texas. What's that damn town there by the border?
Ooh, Harlingen?
No, south of that.
I can't remember.
You know. Go ahead, I'll tell you in a minute. You can start our stories here. We can start telling about dogs here in a second.
Can we go back to dogs? I'll talk dogs. You're
Yeah.
going to look up the map stuff. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, well.
Let me do my thing here.
I do know, what is it? It's further from here to El Paso than it is from El Paso to Los Angeles.
So, let's try this again.
Try it again.
So, Texline, Texas
Oh, text line, absolutely, up by Dalhart, yeah.
to Brownsville, Texas
Yeah,
is
yeah.
937 miles. So, if you go from Texline to Canada, just add 3 miles.
Oh, heck, you kidding?
Yeah, so the distance from here to Brownsville, or Texline to Brownsville, is the same distance as from Texline to Canada, but you got to cross from 5 states to get there. So that's so when you drive through Texas, you're driving for a long time.
Long time.
It's hard to get out of here.
Yes.
Anyway,
Let's do puppies. Hey, I tell you what, I got a lot of nice comments about our video last week, and hopefully we're helping some people. There were some questions I got. You know, they wanted a little elaboration. So we're gonna do a few other we're gonna elaborate a little bit on puppy raising, and we're gonna start off. We're gonna give everybody a little bit of an example. We got a 10-week-old Western Shepherd here, and we're gonna swap places. I'm gonna get over here and run the camera, and Carol Ann, who's our technician, is going to get out and be the dog trainer, and we're going to see what a 10-week-old puppy, if you're using our system, should be doing. Besides pooping on your rugs. She's dead asleep. Hold on. Can I take this off the tripod?
Yes. Just hit that orange button on the side.
I'd be sleeping too. It's only 112 degrees outside.
Oh yeah, it's 111 degrees. Is it 112 now?
111, 112.
112 right now. This is a 10-week-old Western Shepherd. How do I zoom in and out, Carol Ann? It's not zooming. There we go.
Got it?
It won't get for you. Have to get further back or something. Get over here in the light.
Okay.
Now it's not letting me zoom any further out, and I don't have you all. Let me get further away from you.
Got it? How's that? Better?
Yeah.
Come here. Hello. Sit. Good girl. Ready? Traveler. Front.
Now, front's our discipline recall. Means the dog comes and sits in front of you.
Good. Traveler. Stay.
And we're going to count to, how far are we counting, Carol Ann? Looks like
7, 8, 9, 10.
So that's a 10 count. Now she's going to return to her puppy. So we got a little patience. They're learning patience. Very important for puppies. What else we got, Carol Ann?
Her name game.
That's the name game. That's just to get her look. Hey, let me ask you a question.
Yes.
If you were at a distance from her, would she come running if you called her to front?
She should.
Drop a little treat right there and let her nibble on it, and you walk over here. All right, call her to front. Whoops, she's following you anyway. And she goes and she sits. And if you use this command regular when they're puppies, you'll never have to worry about your puppy jumping on you or guess, because they learn that that's how good things come from humans, is to come and sit calmly. So that's a 10-week-old Western Shepherd pup. We're going to set our camera back up here and talk about how we can get all of them doing. What do you think, Traveler? Can you say woof woof? Never mind. All right.
Just so everybody knows too, she's understands French.
Yeah, she's bilingual.
Oui.
Yep.
Une française.
So,
A bien pas de la Gaspé, mais proche. Good dog.
good dog. So, one thing I hope you'll notice, she's doing everything she's doing without a leash or anything, just the treats. And we're going to discuss treats because I know there's a segment of the population who consider them the best thing in the world, and there's another segment of the population that considers them the worst thing in the world. And I'm just going to tell you where I come in on that, and Scott will give his little swing at the ball if he's so inclined, and tell you how I use the treats and how I know Carol Ann uses the treats. But first, we started all this because people were complaining about puppies biting them and they didn't know how to correct them. I want to elaborate on that just a little bitty bit. A lot of people with the Western Shepherds have said when I scruff the puppy, it growls at me. A couple of people have said when I scruff the puppy, it bites me. So I want to emphasize this one thing. A good correction has nothing to do with ouch. All you learn from ouch is avoidance. If you want to teach a puppy not to do something, painful corrections can do that for you. If you want to teach your puppy what it should do, painful corrections are just going to get you in trouble. So she should come to you and be happy to see you, or he, but should not come to you and use you for a T-bone steak.
Yep.
So,
You ain't no chew toy.
right. So, the important thing about your correction, you need to really, I'll put it this way. If we had all the people from PETA and the Humane Society of the United States, if they all were to come down here to my kennel and we showed them a mama dog and her baby puppies, all cute and fuzzy, and if those people ever saw a mama dog correct one of those puppies for doing something wrong, they would want to outlaw mama dogs. Because they don't play. I mean, the corrections are serious. And there's one good reason for it. What happens to all the folks that are going, we say to scruff, grab that suddenly and quickly before the pup has a chance to know what's coming. No. And you just pick them up by the scruff of the neck, look them in the eye till they look away from you, because that's doglish for yes ma'am, yes sir. No. And you see them heads go this way or whichever way, but in your eye, that's yes sir or yes ma'am in doglish, okay? I'd drop them on the floor, as long as they ain't with this high up,
Yeah.
So what the sudden startling introduction of this correction does is sets the dog back on her heels. If you're dealing with Rottweilers, especially Rotties, if you're dealing with Fila Brasieros, if you're dealing with any of the big tough dogs, Western Shepherds, if you're dealing with the crazy dogs, Malinois, they get a bad rap from everybody, don't they?
They're good dogs.
They're great dogs. But if you're dealing with them, if your correction is sudden and startling, the dog goes, holy crap, what's... Whereas if your correction is modeling, if it's giving them a chance to think, they're going to think, I don't like you doing that. Arr. So the whole secret behind not getting challenged when you correct the dog is make it firm, sudden, and startling. Get after it. Don't worry about, is Peter going to come after me?
And swift and decisive.
Yeah.
And it ends.
Yeah.
Like another thing is you want to do, like you said, swift, decisive, and it's done.
Yeah.
You drop it, right?
Yep.
It's done. People doing it the other way. No, and they're just nagging that dog and nagging that dog. And the dog sees it coming, and after a while, it's like white noise to them.
It is white. Yeah. Yeah.
And then they think it's
Right.
they're going to stand up to you.
So
Not saying it's going to become a game, but it's going to be like, man, don't bother me.
kind of a game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
So how do you know when your corrections are not disciplined enough and firm enough? Rule of thumb for me is real simple. If I have to do the same correction for the same behavior a third time, the first two didn't work. So you better either up the degree or find another way to correct them. So just think about that. If you've corrected this puppy 3 times for biting on you, you're doing it wrong.
Absolutely. There's more than one way to skin a cat.
Absolutely, unless the cat's really, really quick, and there's a tree nearby, then that's more difficult. What do you think? What about leash walking?
Well, a lot of things I see a lot of people is they want to strap a harness to a dog.
Okay, I'll
start with that.
Okay.
So when you look at them dogs up there, Balto and his buddies up there in Alaska, and they're running medicine and mail up there, and they're pulling the sled, right?
Right.
What are they wearing when they're pulling the sled?
Harness.
So what's a harness been designed for?
Help them pull.
That's right. Every piece of equipment has a specific task. So
Yep.
one, harnesses should be out of the question from day one with a puppy.
Yep.
Because you're encouraging they're going to want to pull.
Right.
So
You're teaching them to pull.
mm-hmm.
And when a mama dog corrects a pup, like for crawling up to the soda fountain and latching on, she pins them. And where does she pin them at? By the neck.
Yep.
That's where you discipline. That's how you communicate negative behavior to a dog.
Another way of doing that is that I believe in it. A lot of people don't like them, but Herm Sprenger prong collars.
Absolutely.
They make them for puppies also.
Mm-hmm.
You don't even have to scrap your dog. You put a Herm Sprenger on, the Herm Sprenger will do the work for you.
Good
That
point.
will actually reenact what a mother actually does.
Yeah, yeah.
We've already been through the Herm Sprenger with a lot on the show here, and it works like a mother's correction.
Yeah.
A mother's mouth when she corrects her pups.
Exactly. And you got to get the Herm Sprenger. You got to get the little square in the middle. And the best way I know to say it is this. That Sprenger collar gives you the ability to correct your dog the closest way. It's the closest thing to a mama dog's bite and a mother dog's discipline that you can get without getting hair in your teeth. So use the collar.
And they are excellent for training, excellent for walking your dog.
Mm-hmm.
Because you start pulling, a lot of dogs start pulling, and you throw a Herm Sprenger on them, it's like a totally different dog.
Mm-hmm.
And you never even corrected them with it, just having it on.
Just having it on, yep.
And the corrections, they're not sharp, they don't hurt the dogs, and they make them in all sizes. For any size dog, puppies to 250-pound Great Danes.
Yep.
Would have brought him in here too, but he's too big.
Yeah, we got one. So, but all right, now for your 6-week, 8-week, 10-week-old puppy, you can run this video back if you want to where just before Carol Ann sat down with her pup, or when she walked over to here, I told her to throw a piece of chicken down for the puppy and walk away. The pup was supposed to be more interested in the chicken and give her a chance to come over here and demonstrate a good recall. But the minute she turned and started walking, her pup, because she's raised her right, turned and followed her.
Mm-hmm.
She really doesn't even need a leash for this puppy. But she goes to the grocery store with her on Starbucks every morning. She socialized her. Now, everyone who has a puppy has gone through the tug of war. The pup fighting, getting back, and remember this, it's an absolute law of physics, which means there's no exceptions. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction.
Yeah, so the more you tug, the more he's going to tug back the other way. It's, I think, what Butch is getting to.
Bingo. Bingo. What do we do when we're teaching our dogs? We want to teach a police dog how to attack and bite somebody. What do we have the handler do with the leash, Scott?
Pull it back.
Pull it back. And when you're pulling that
Retention.
tension back, what's the dog
He
do?
wants to go.
So you get your puppy, you put him on a leash, you turn and you start walking, and most people walk with a puppy. I don't know why, but it's just human nature. And I've done it too. I'm not laughing at anybody. But you go, come here, puppy, and you turn and you look at him, and you give a tug, and the puppy goes, holy crap, what's this around my neck? And he balks. You eventually get him started walking about 2 or 3 steps, and you turn to see what he's doing, and what's he do? Every time. So remember, action, reaction. The first thing you want to do if you're teaching your young puppy to walk on a leash, put the leash on him, turn your back on him. Give a little tug, tug, not a steady pull. Tug, tug. Take a couple of steps. You'll be surprised how he starts following you. But he's going to balk in the learning process,
Mm-hmm.
Starting out. If he stops and sits down, great. Don't get on him. Just say, hey, pup, what are you doing? Talk to him. Go back a step to him. Put a little more slack in your leash if he pulled it tight. Because you're going to need this little bit of slack between you and the puppy. And what you're going to do is you're going to talk to him, reassure him, and then you're going to turn, very important, and you're going to go, come here, or whatever command you want to go. Puppy, I just say their name. And you're just going to start taking a walk. If he balks immediately, give him some slack, and then give a little pop, pop. Remember when mama dogs correct them? She doesn't just pin them to the ground with her mouth. She pins them and she goes. So you're going to do the same thing. Turn and go pop, pop. You're going to have 4 or 5 little balk sessions, but at the end of 12 minutes, your pup's going to be walking right behind you.
Yep.
Every step you make. The beauty about dogs is this. There ain't none of them, puppies, ever spent much time watching the movies. They don't know nothing about actors. So, you can get a puppy, put a leash on him, turn around and start walking like you know where you're going, and act like you're a leader, and you'll fool them every time. You don't really have to be a real leader. Just act like it. Turn, make like you know where you're going, give it a little pop, pop, no steady pulls. Your pup will be walking on a leash in 3 sessions, everywhere you want to go.
Mm-hmm. Any questions?
Nope, none yet.
Well,
Everybody just says hi.
who said hi?
Everybody.
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 How y'all doing?
So, let's go to
Zing?
one of the things that worries some people and thrills others: treats for training. You got that group that says it's the only way to go. It's all positive. They learn, and you got that group that says, I want my dog to do it because he loves me. Not because I got a bag of treats in my pocket. It's Texas in July. They stink. Right?
Because the dog loves you. The dog should love you anyway.
Yeah.
That's besides the point.
Yeah.
But me, I like puppies, and when you're starting out with a lot of training, use food,
Yep.
treats.
Yep.
And then as you develop your dog's being developed, your dog's gonna like certain things.
Right.
He might like a tug, he might like a ball, he might like grandma's old sock. We don't know. He's gonna want, every dog's different. So, what do? You can wean him off the food and incorporate what he loves the best to play with and use that as a reward. So
Yeah.
I think it's a hybrid of both, in my opinion.
Yep. I'd agree.
Because you're getting that the dog when we're training with him with the treat.
Yep.
You're getting the involuntary and the sit and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
And you incorporate the tug. Well, he's going to sit anyway, even if you don't have it. A dog will. I'll listen to my dog. He'll sit and wait for a treat or something. He'll do it anyway.
Yeah.
But if you reward him with that tug or that ball, so it actually, to me, it heightens their want to.
Yep.
And they'll still love you no matter what.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm thinking that's
No.
what I do.
I agree with you.
I'd rather just, that's a hybrid.
Yeah.
And some dogs won't take toys, some dogs want treats, and some dogs don't want treats. Some dogs, all they want to do is do tugs or
Right.
whatever, you know?
Exactly. And so what I've decided, or what works for me, and here we have, Carol Ann and I have 2 weeks to train a dog we've never seen. And it's kind of like training a puppy, except you have a lot more time with the puppy than we have with the adult dogs we have in here. So think of it this way. There's two T's to a well-trained dog. First there's teaching, then there's training or repetitions. So for all the people who don't think they want to train with treats, get your old choke chain out and go to cranking on the dog, and then after you've cranked on him for 8 or 9 months, turn him loose in the field and call him back to you and watch him take off, because that wasn't fun. What treats allow you to do for us, because we've only got a 2-week window, and for you puppy owners, I can tell a puppy, like you go to work, you know you're going to get paid on Friday, Saturday, 15th, 1st, right? Whatever.
Yep.
You know it's coming. So you don't mind working
No.
for as much.
I don't mind working at all.
As long as the boss ain't watching. Oh, he is the boss. I forgot.
I'm always watching. Anyway.
So yeah. So with a puppy, you can't say, I want you to put your fanny on the floor and your nose in the air. That's called sit. And then when you've done it 3 times, I'll praise you. You can't do it. You can't explain it to him. So what's your options? You can go pop, swat him on the butt, sit, 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 sit. And then eventually you can go, oh, good doggy. And he might get relatively efficient at sitting when you ask him to. Or you can take that treat that's got an odor. We prefer hot dogs or chicken breasts, 99-cent cheap hot dogs. Something that's got an odor to it. You hold it right around their nose and you say the word sit, and you just raise or move the treat back towards their tailbone. Their nose will go up, following it as it goes back over their head. And since they're puppies and they're not coordinated to get their head back far enough, their little butt's got to go poof. Now they're sitting, you give them the treat. What you can do with treats is draw the path you want your dog to follow. His nose will be on that scent, and you can go heel. You can go stay, stay, stay. In other words, the treat allows you to do the teaching portion. The teaching portion. Now, it's just like Scott just said. Every dog, and you all know it, your dog gets more excited. If you play tug with your dog, if you play ball with your dog. You got a lab. You're out there throwing that ball. When he sees you pick up that ball, he gets way more excited than he does when he sees the food. Don't get me wrong. At mealtime, he'll come running and sit and drool a little bit. When he sees that ball, he's going nuts, right? A dog will work harder for their playtime than they ever will for food. That's why bomb dogs are always trained with a toy reward. One reason. Another reason, of course, if you're training them with hot dogs, the last thing you want is to have the contract for the LSU Tiger football stadium to sweep it for bombs and take your bomb dog out there and have him go over here and hit on the concession stand because that's where the hot dogs are, right? So they'll work harder for their toy, and there's your second T. There's when your training starts. So you start teaching them all your moves with that treat. You get their enthusiasm up about the words and commands you're using, and then as they get good at it, every time you play is contingent upon sit.
Yeah, you incorporate your training with your playtime,
Yeah.
and they'll want to do it even more.
Yeah.
Imagine that. Huh.
Because it's all about enthusiasm.
Two questions.
Okay.
Okay. This is from Chuck Wheeler. What would you say is the success rate for Bart's offspring in protection work?
Woo, that's a great question. I really like that one. Who was that? Ask that?
Chuck Wheeler.
Chuck?
Chuck.
Chuck, you got to remember, not everyone who's got these pups has done protection training with them. So I can't say a percentage. I can tell you this: the ones that we've had one that was iffy, but she didn't start training until she was a year old, and I have no idea how the pup was raised. Normally, the litter we have on the ground right now, the sire's named Bear. Bear was out of Elka and Bart. Elka's one was probably our best producing female. And this is her last litter. And Rich, I hope you're not listening to this because I'm going to talk about you. Rich is the owner. He was my neighbor. And he, out of Elka's last litter, he kept a pup. He owned Elka. And Rich is always got 37 irons in the fire and 2 more waiting. So he got Bear with all good intentions. I'm going to train this dog. We're going to do everything. I want him to be just like his daddy, Bart. Looks just like Bart. Looks just like Bart. He showed up. He took the pup, and he had moved. He showed up 6 months later. You remember that, Scott?
Yep.
So normally if we're training a protection dog, it's going to have 3 basic elements. An alert, where they go out and threaten whoever's coming towards you, the bite, and of course the fighting ability, and third, the out. That's about a 45-day program with a 12 to 18 month old dog. And this isn't the only dog we've done this with, but we took this 6-month-old, he shows up with his 6-month-old pup and says, let's do some bite work. I said, well, Rich, it don't work like that. We got to kind of building to it, you know. Have you done any sack work with the dog? Nope. You ever play tug of war with him? No, but I throw a tennis ball a lot. So he doesn't play tug of war, he doesn't have a sack. And we started with the sack. And Scott was working the sack. Weren't you working the dog?
Yeah, sack and one session.
And then in one session, and then you went to
Flirted him first. One flirt to see. Sacked him twice. Then I flipped on him with the sleeve. And the fourth one, the second session of the first, there's three.
Second session, same day.
Same day. We had 3 sessions. Second session, third bite, went full arm in the sleeve. So he went from nothing to a sleeve in
less than an hour.
Less than an hour.
Yeah.
And after that, and it took a few more days or We came over a few more times, and by that time he was hitting the bar sleeve pretty quick.
Yeah. So,
And I couldn't, and Kiwi's the same way.
oh, Kiwi was amazing.
So these dogs,
Yeah.
they'll get on it. Now it's not all dogs like that, but they all come around. And it won't take 45 days for none of these dogs.
No, no. And it's, so I can't address the total number of pups that we've sold because of all the people that never come back and do that sort of training. I can say this. Every pup that's done it has done exceptional work. My partner today, Bits, was 5 months old, Scott?
Yeah, she never bit, and on the third session she was doing sends. We're sending her, we're catching her,
Yeah,
full catch.
yeah. And outing.
Yep.
So,
Now there's a little bit there, but we probably need to work on the side. You know what I'm saying? Didn't tell nobody, but still 5 months old.
I wouldn't do that, surely.
Well,
Second question.
Second question, what?
His name is Patrick. He said, if puppy is biting older dog while playing, should we correct the puppy or let them work it out?
it depends.
Most of the time, I let
Yeah.
the older dog get after it. Because you don't know if the older dog's enjoying the play or not. So you might correct the puppy when the older dog is actually enjoying the interplay between her and the pup, or him and the pup. At some point, especially if it's a male dog, but even if it's a female, that's the difference between mama dogs and us. The minute a pup steps out of line, mama dog will let them know. There isn't no, well, come on, please. Oh, would you? No, it don't work like that. So I'm a firm believer. I don't speak very fluent Doglish. You know,
No.
I'm not bad at it, but I'm not fluent at it.
And you know, if you have other dogs, you should know the temperament of your dog. Because I won't let Aries too much with her. Because I know the temperament of how he is.
Yeah,
And he's not a bad dog, but he's, like you're saying,
male dog.
you get after it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's corrected her.
He has.
So when she's playing, if he's tired, he just does this little boom, boom,
Yeah,
and she says, "Okay, I'm out."
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I would, if I were you, I'd let the dogs talk to each other. I'm a firm believer in not interfering. If I don't speak the language, I'm not going to give you directions because I'll get you lost, so to speak. So, we got any other ones there?
That's it.
Well, okay. We got bite work. We got. I didn't mean to get off on that. We got the leash training. That was important.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, the main thing is going to be your socialization.
That's key.
Correct the dog when they're doing something wrong and make it count.
Yep.
But when they're doing something right, make your reward just as clear and fun. To get them off your treats, simple process. Use your treats, your mealtime training. If you don't know about mealtime training, I'll sit that up there. You can get this book here, and that'll teach you all about mealtime training. And then playtime training. Remember, dogs are associative learners. So they associate a sound with whatever action is going on at the moment. If it's a good action, they're going to repeat it. And they're going to identify that action with the sound. Okay? Sit. Ooh, there's a piece of chicken. Simple as that. You're going on a walk.
Yeah. That's what I was going to get to. You can actually, you're talking about dogs tugging and pulling with their leash walking.
Oh, yeah.
Incorporate, bring your little tug in your back pocket. And when you're walking your dog along and start doing some obedience work, give her the reward while she's walking on the leash. So she'll want to actually go walking with it because she knows she's going to play.
Absolutely.
It'll help the tugging, it'll help everything.
Great one,
It all
yeah.
ties together.
Yeah. So those are all the things you can put together, and you can always come out here and watch us train, except not now because it's too damn hot.
Yeah.
But if you can put all this together, and if you need any other help with it, you can always ask us questions. You can always email me, or go to our webpage. We're trying to do more and more stuff with that. And if you think you want to see what I believe is going to, or is, the world's premier security protection dog, we got 3 or 4 pups left, so
Yep.
come with obedience training, not a problem.
They're going fast.
Going
Can't
fast.
keep on. Can't hold on to those darn things, can we?
No,
Good dogs there.
I guess that's it, huh?
Yeah, so remember, incorporate your food, your treats, your tugs, mealtime training, teach them to walk and get it all together. And remember, we do it because it's all about the dogs.
Thank you,
you
folks.
and good night.